In today's video, I want to talk about Julia Pacheco. I want to talk about this YouTuber who now has written a cookbook. Stick around for today's video. I'm going to talk about some recipes I've tried in Julia's cookbook. If you haven't checked out Julia Pacheco on YouTube, I think you probably should. But should you buy her cookbook? Well, stick around. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I hope you will like and subscribe. This channel does videos about different topics, and I hope it's things that you'll enjoy and encourage you. Subscribing to a YouTube channel is free. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video is published. Now to today's video. In today's video, I'm talking about the YouTuber Julia Pacheco. And if you don't know who Julia is, she has a cooking channel on YouTube. It's wonderful. She's a delightful young woman that has great recipes that are very simple. And she has a new cookbook. If you haven't bought her cookbook, I hope you'll check that out too. I bought 3 of them, 1 for myself and 2 for Christmas presents. Well, I am very pleased with my purchase. I love the cookbook. It's beautiful. It has those hard, shiny, glossy pages. So when you're using it in cooking and you splatter something on the page, you can wipe it clean. So I love that about this cookbook. But stick around for today's video. I'm going to talk to you about some of the recipes I've already tried. While my son was home for Christmas, we started trying some of the recipes from the cookbook. I'm going to really try this year, and I'm going to encourage him to make every recipe from this cookbook. So I hope you'll see some of his videos as well as some of mine. For Christmas, I gave both my sons a copy of the cookbook, and I have one for myself. My one son, my older son, is married, and he and his wife were already at their home for Christmas. But my younger son, who's still single, was staying a few days after Christmas. So the day after Christmas, my son and I got up and started trying the cookbook. We flipped through the breakfast recipes, and the one we chose to make first was the sheet pan bacon, eggs, and potatoes. My son and I had decided what we were going to make out of the recipe the night before. We decided on the sheet pan bacon, eggs, and potatoes. Now, I had already bought the frozen hash browns. I keep those in my freezer. Actually, they're so good in different kinds of soups and casseroles. And I refrigerated the frozen hash browns overnight so they wouldn't be frozen. So I kept them in the refrigerator overnight. So when we got up the next morning to make our breakfast, we already had our refrigerated hash browns in the refrigerator. So they weren't frozen anymore. They had thawed. Then we proceeded to follow her instructions. Now, I also have to admit, I didn't have any bacon. I did have some real bacon bits. So what I decided to do is to put a little ground sausage, raw ground sausage, on the top of these hash browns like you would bacon. And then at the very end, I put the bacon bits also on the recipe. So I did alter the recipe a little bit. I thought if I completely omitted the bacon, you wouldn't have that fat that cooks out of the bacon to really flavor the hash browns. So that's why I put that ground sausage on the top to make sure I had a little bit of that pork fat seasoning in the recipe. But otherwise, my son and I followed the recipe. We preheated our oven to 400 degrees. We sprayed the sheet pan with a non-stick spray. We spread out our hash browns and we seasoned them the way she did. And then we baked for 22 minutes. We removed it from the oven. We cracked the eggs over the top of the hash browns, and we sprinkled the tops with the salt and pepper, cheddar cheese. And that's when I added those real bacon bits on the top that I already had in the fridge. I baked it an additional 20 minutes until the eggs were done. Y'all, it was wonderful. Here's my dish when it was completed. I'm sure it's not as pretty as Julia's, but it was delicious, and it made the perfect breakfast for after Christmas for my son and I. The following morning, when my son got up, we decided to make the German pancakes. So in today's video, you've got a twofer. I'm going to talk about the second recipe I've tried in Julia Pacheco's cookbook. We tried the German pancakes, And y'all, they were simple and delicious. You mix up your batter in a blender, and once it's all blended, you pour it into a baking dish. You bake it for 20 to 25 minutes until the edges are golden brown and puffy. I served it with just some great value syrup that I had on hand, and also a little whipped cream. I even sprinkled on some golden raisins. Y'all, it was beautiful and delicious. I love to brag on YouTubers that I like, and Julia Pacheco is one of those YouTubers I like. I have been subscribed to her channel for a while. It's a wonderful channel if you're looking for easy recipes and a cheerful person to present them to you. So I encourage you today, if you haven't checked out Julia Pacheco's YouTube channel, you will. And you might even find that you want to purchase this cookbook too. Well, thanks for watching today's video. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy cooking. Until next time, bye.